Hello, everybody. So I wanted to send a message to the black leaders. I do a lot from here on my own. Before I was doing it through the church and places like that, but be very careful with France. All these reparations that they wanted to give, UN took a vote forward. They abstained, just like Canada. Why? They don't want the black people to come up, just like they don't want the Indian people to come up. The French are bastards. Oh, Pan-Africanism. Yeah, Pan-Africanism. My foot. Did you see what Macron did at that summit? And the lady was even asking him, "Oh, you going up already? Are you not waiting your turn?" And then he goes and he grabs the microphone and says, "Hey, hey, hey." No, the African leaders mustn't fall for this. That thing that happened in Rwanda, they orchestrated it. You think it was just like, Tutsis and Hutus got up one day and decided to kill each other? Really, you think that? You think that in which naive world does that happen? Black people just hate each other. They just hate each other. They just kill each other. Right? They're animals, right? They have no sense. Oh, please. They orchestrated, they coordinated it, just like how they coordinated when Robert Mugabe stood down. They coordinate it. Don't fool yourselves. I work for them here, that's why I know. They awful people. They awful. They'll make sure your salary is minimum wage and they're earning 10 times the amount. They don't give you anything towards your studies, retraining, re-education, and even if you get the best scores, they'll do what they did to me. I was working there at Teleperformance, they couldn't fix my ID. I said, I did all the training and everything. I'm supposed to go onto the floor and start taking the calls. I'm supposed to go into production. They're like, we can't fix your ID, we don't know what's wrong. I'm like, how can you not know what's wrong? Oh, it was set up somewhere in Brazil or somewhere in South America. They can't fix it. I'm like, why did you send it to them to put the systems in place? They're like, oh, we can't do anything. We have to lay you off. I'm like, no, you don't have to lay me off. Fix the ID. They're like, no, we can't fix it. I said, why not? Oh, it's going to take a month. I said, even if it takes a month, fix it. I can sit at home for a month and come back to work. Then they called me, they said, oh no, you're not passing any of the tests. We can't put you back on the floor. I'm like, how can I not pass any of the tests? I've been working for you for almost a decade. They're like, no, we'll find something else for you. Then they said to me, oh, we want you to work on Scotiabank. I said, you know that there's a problem with the banks. So why do you want me to go and work on Scotiabank? They're like, oh, we don't have anything else. I said, those bankers, they all will start coordinating calls and putting calls through just like they did with Klarna. I don't want to work on the banking calls. They're like, we don't have anything else. We're laying you off. I'm like, you people are stupid. Your best employees, your best workers, you're laying me off. They're like, no, well, we'll have to do a temporary layoff, and then when we hire you, it's going to be like a new position. We're not going to give you tenure. I'm like, that's not fair to me. You should give me tenure. You should reinstate me. You should pay me more than the other workers. You should consider everything I did to help you. They're like, no, we can't. I'm like, you people don't want me in the business, right? They're like, no, we do want you, but we have to follow this process. I'm like, no, this is what you're doing is not right. In the other years when I was laid off, you told me, just wait at home. We're going to find a position for you. And when we find that position for you, we'll call you. And then you just have to go and do the training for that job. And then you go on the floor. And even all these tests that they're giving us, it's stupid what they're doing. The trainers, in all the other campaigns I was on, the trainers help you because you don't do the test at home. You go into Teleperformance and you take the training, you do everything there, and then they give you multiple choice questions, not like this what we had. It's questions on the campaign you're being trained on. And the trainers come round, and if you don't know the answer, they tell you, this is the answer. Because if you've made it to that stage, you're already good. They've already selected you. They already want you to go onto the floor. And after I worked there from when, 2018 to now, they're telling me all this. So anyway, I'm still sitting here at home. And then on top of that, now they called me after a year and said, we had technical issues, sorry, your file got lost. I mean, come on. My supervisors are sitting there trying to put tickets through to have me reinstated, to come back to work. They can't do it because the IT system is not working properly. Then they messaging me, did they contact you? Did they contact you? I'm like, no, they didn't contact me. And every time they contact me, they're saying you didn't pass the test. How can I not pass the test? How is it possible that I don't pass fluency tests? How is it possible? And even the questions that they give you, like they play a conversation once, they want you to take down the notes and remember everything. Even if you're trying to take down all those notes, you're not going to remember everything. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm just telling you, African leaders, don't think they're nice. They're not. When we had those COVID vaccines that came out, all of us pushed back here in Canada. No one wanted to take those vaccines. And then Emmanuel Macron was the one, he started it. He's like, if you people don't go and take the vaccines, we're going to treat you like pig shit. You won't be able to work. You won't be able to go to the theaters. You won't be able to shop. You won't be able to do anything. And Justin Trudeau piggybacked on that. He said the same thing. He didn't call us pig shit, but he said the same thing. It's like, if you don't take the vaccines, you can't work. You're not going to be allowed to work, to go out. You can't do anything. Then they kept the LCBO open, that's the alcohol stores, and they closed the churches. They closed the churches. Then the priest said, you know what, it's cold, it's winter time. So what we'll do, we'll have communion services. People can come in. I think they did groups of 10. Our church has got like a foyer at the back, and then it's got a second set of doors, and then you can go in to the main church. So they said, what we'll do, when you come a little early, come like 10 minutes early, you can stand at the back of the church, and then you can come in and receive Holy Communion. We can't do the full Mass, but we'll give you the Eucharist, because we believe in the presence of Christ in that Eucharist. Then somebody went and reported us. Then they said, if you let them come in the church like that, we're going to close the church again. They didn't let us have our Mass. They didn't let us do anything. But it's okay for people to go to the LCBO, right? That was more important than Christ. That was more important than church. So I'm just telling you, African leaders, be very careful with them. They don't care about the African people. He's busy talking about Pan-Africanism. What Pan-Africanism? What Pan-Africanism? There's no Pan-Africanism in France. There's nothing like that. They're lying. They're lying. They want to recolonize Africa through the trade. That's why so many of us are pushing to say, build trade within the continent, build up the continent, and support each other. They're not interested. He just wants to show off to Britain that, oh, look, I got these deals. You guys lost in these areas, I got them. What did they do when Rwanda happened? Did they help? They knew what was happening. They didn't help. Did Canada help? Did any Western nation help? No. No, nobody helped. Nobody helped. You think we liked living here in these countries? You think we wanted to leave Zimbabwe and come here? There was no choice. There was no choice when the land grab started happening. People were frightened. I haven't worked a day in my life here. I haven't. Because the 4 years I had at TD, they were paying me under 30,000 a year. They refused to help me to retrain to Canadian standards. They refused to Help me. Even then, I told them I sponsored my mother. My mother's coming. They refused. They said, there's no position for you. We tried. There's nothing. In a big worldwide company like that, there was no position. Who are they kidding? So they let me go from there. Then every time I got a job, it was 3 to 6 month contracts. And I did a good job for them. Other people made mistakes. They let me go. There was one contract at TD. The woman came in. I told her where to save her things. She saved it in the wrong place. They let me go. So they act like they are perfect, like they've never made a mistake. 100% execution. 100%. You make one mistake, they made a list and they sent it to the recruiter. I counted every point on that list. And I said, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. None of those things that they let me go for was my fault. Not one of them. Then I had a job at HSBC. They let me go because Credit Suisse wouldn't stop calling. Every day. Where's Belinda? We worried about her. We want to know where she is. We want to know if she got there okay. My manager's like, these people are sick in the head. Like there's something wrong with them. He said, call the police. I said, I call the police. Every day he used to tell me, call the police, call the police. I said, why don't you just tell them, tell whoever they're calling to stop taking the calls. He said, I tried. I'm like, what? I don't know what is wrong with them. I don't know what to do. They did the same thing at BMO. They did the same thing at CIBC. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then when the police finally get through to Credit Suisse and they ask for them, they're like, oh no, they're not here. They're not here. They're not working here anymore. It's ridiculous. I'm just telling you, African leaders, don't trust them as far as you can throw them. Not the French. Not the French. And look at what Danielle Smith is doing in Alberta. Quebec separated. Now Alberta wants to separate. There's no Canada left. What is Canada? Is there a Canada left? If Alberta separates and Quebec separates, what is the country? Ontario? Don't trust them. Don't trust them. The French are the worst. They're the worst, and their cruelty, you'll never get your health back. You know what they did to me on those calls? Before, we used to have 3 minutes between the calls. Then they said, no, it's 2 minutes. Then they said, it's 30 seconds. You don't even have time to say, okay, I'm going to the washroom. If you need an extra break, they won't give it to you. You tell them with a doctor's note, I've got anxiety, I need a day shift. They refuse. They're like, you either do it or you go, we're terminating you. And then they want to say, oh, the French are sophisticated. The French are the most lovely people in the world. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not. Macron should be ashamed of what he's saying there. And even this G7 and all that, they're inviting the African leaders. The African leaders don't need them. They don't need the G7. They've got the BRICS. They've got the BRICS formation now that are working together. They're inviting them to the G7 and then they're making them sit on the side. They don't even put them like at the front in the table. Oh no, the African leaders don't need them. You think the problems that are happening in Africa are only happening in Africa. They're not. They're happening here. This Melanie Joly is saying that we've got the fastest growing economy of the G7. She's lying. She's lying. We don't have the fastest growing economy of the G7. There isn't. There isn't. People like me, educated graduates, are using food banks. We're using food banks. I'm walking. Sometimes I walk an hour in the cold to go to my appointments because I don't have that money to pay for my TTC to catch the subway. And even if I take the subway, I still have to walk 4 or 5 blocks to get to my doctor because it's not like my old doctor was in the Sheraton. So I used to take the subway and then just go. It was a direct connection and go up to him. The new doctor's at a clinic. Dr. Ng was private. So I'm telling you, don't trust them. If you trust the French, you're going to regret it. Don't trust them. And why is Danielle Smith supporting separating Alberta from the rest of Canada? So she can get rich, and she's got the oil and everything. And what about the rest of us? They should send her here to live in Quebec, not Quebec, to live in Ontario, and make her use the food banks and make her walk an hour in the cold. They should make her do it. And Mark Carney and all these people. Because somebody like me shouldn't come into this country and keep on being put into poverty, keep on being put into minimum wage, 3 to 6 month contracts. And what do Credit Suisse want? What do they want? Do they want to take me to Switzerland? They must take me. I can go and work there. Because frankly, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. What do you want? You're phoning every bloody company I work at, wanting to know where I am. I can't even go to a movie. I couldn't even go to that Elvis show without people saying, oh, she's here. She's the one, they like her. So what? No wonder Elvis used to hire the whole theater and go and sit in that theater by himself to have some privacy. The French are awful, and the people that support them are awful. I went to a lot of places in Europe. The one I disliked the most was France. I didn't like France. I hated it. Outside, yeah, in the countryside, it's nice, but the people are stuck up. I'm warning you, black leaders, African leaders, don't trust them, especially Macron. He's rubbish.